I do. Are you doing the Chewbacca thing? I have my Chewbacca mask. I should get it out. Really? I should get it out. Yeah, I bought it. It
sounds just like this.
I cannot. I'm like, I can't, like, how do you?
You have to be a really good snorer. Nice, yeah, because the little top of your roof mouth.
Yeah. I can't even, and it tickles.
It's Chewbacca Mom.
It is. We're going to talk to Chewbacca Mom. Many of you know that Eric and I host. If you didn't know, you're going to find out. We host 2 radio shows every single afternoon.
What's this you say?
What's this you say? Right after we finish up with the Experience Pros radio show, we have about a 6-minute window to change studios, and we go into another studio and host a program called Crosswalk, which is a Christian lifestyle program. And this afternoon, we're going to be interviewing Candace Payne. And for many of you in the business world, you know Candace Payne as Chewbacca Mom. She was the viral sensation on Facebook Live. She went online, posted a video of herself wearing this Chewbacca mask she had just purchased from Kohl's, and for 4 minutes, or for 3 minutes out of the 4-minute video, she laughed.
It just cracked her up.
Crazy, infectious, authentic, purely joyful.
It's not me, it's the mask.
It was so funny. It was so funny. And overnight, it was viewed like 13 million times overnight. It became the number 1 viewed Facebook Live video of all times at its time. And so it opened up all these doors for her. So here was this mom who was a stay-at-home mom. She had 2 kids who all of a sudden overnight became this online media sensation.
Right.
How does a woman go from being a stay-at-home mom, just posting some fun videos for her and her family and her friends, to this now media superstar? And so she wrote a book about it called Laugh It Up. And of course, that's from the Star Wars movie, Han Solo laughing at, Chewbacca.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
Chewbacca was laughing at him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I love about Candace is her infectious joy. And she became known for joy. That was now her brand. Yes, the title was Chewbacca Mom, but her brand was all about bringing joy and intentional joy into your world. How we have to intentionally look for joy that society doesn't naturally dish it out. We don't have a natural bent to it. And she has an incredible story of challenges and trials. And so even though she was known for joy,
right,
how she has to work at it and has had to work at it in her personal development, in her family relationships, in her marriage, and all of that. But she tells a story in her book, Laugh It Up, and about a tough day for her marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And she decided, she had this moment of clarity that she decided she really wanted to make her marriage work. So she went about and she got a piece of paper and she started making a list. Like, this was so important. It was a defining moment for her. I really want to make my marriage work. And so she made a list of all the things she would never do in her marriage. She says, I will never leave. I will never hold a grudge. I will never assume the worst of my husband. I will never keep a record of wrongs. And I will never be quick to condemn our relationship. And for her, she said the list went on and on. And she read it and she reread it over and over again. And she's thinking it's this defining moment. I'm committing to my marriage. I'm never gonna leave him. I'm not gonna hold a grudge. I'm never gonna do all of these things. And she said there was just something though that didn't sit right with her as she's reading the list. And she remembered something her mom would say to her when she was growing up. And that was never say never.
Mm.
And so she said, I ended up listening to an inner voice challenging me to change every never instead to an always. And so she had to cross out the list, she says, which I naively thought I had written with so much wisdom. And don't we go there, right? Like, I have got this and I know what I'm doing and I'm so wise now. And then we look at it and realize how off mark we really are.
Right.
And so she says, I had to begin to change my thinking altogether. And she said, this was the moment when I just didn't hear the call to get off my beaten path. No, this was the moment I lifted my foot and took the first step to turn things around, to change my thoughts, to change my marriage and embrace the freedom of the new adventure that was sure to follow. And so here was her new list that she wrote. And Eric, I think this is what we have been talking about all day long.
Yep.
We had our power boost this morning,
That's
all
correct.
on mindset. And it's these little shifts in our verbiage and our attitude and how we think and how we talk. And so her new list.
Okay.
I will always stay. I will always forgive. I will always hope for the best in my husband. I will always wipe the slate clean at the end of each day. I will always champion and fight for our marriage. It's the same list, but it's the difference in when we talk about rewiring our brain,
right?
And we focus on the negative.
If we bring up the negative, we dwell in the negative.
That's where you stay.
That's right. You swim in that pool. If you say it this way, I will always stay, then there's nothing negative there. You're going to swim in the pool of staying. You're going to swim in the pool of positivity.
Right. And so if you want to find joy and you want to embrace the freedom that joy gives, because when in the negativity, we're bound. Like we're kind of smothered. I'll never hold a grudge. Doesn't that feel like somebody's telling you what you can't have? And what do we always, lean towards? Like, I can do that. Right. I could hold a grudge if I wanted to. This thing is bad enough, right? This is by telling ourselves the negative version of it, we feel trapped. We feel all bound up. We feel defeated. We feel as if the enemy has won, right?
And in large part, he has, because that's the pool you chose to swim in. But if you decide to flip the story, change the language, move into the positive, do what Chewbacca Mom says.
It is so funny. If you have not yet seen the video, you are one of 166 million people that haven't, because as of the writing of this book, 166 million people had seen it. And it was shared over 3.5 million times.
Just amazing. But this advice is solid advice. And it's not just for your marriage. It's for everything in your life.
For everything, especially in your business. Because where do we get beat up other than in our personal relationships? The second best place, at work, in our business, because there's where the challenges are. There's where the negativity is coming at you, where the challenges, where the struggles, and you feel defeated very often. And so you've got to be able to shift this around. You've got to have a game plan for when the negativity wants to take over in your head. Right. Because if you don't plan for that, if you don't have a game plan when doubt creeps in, when comparison creeps in, shame, fear, if you don't have a game plan for how to get out of it, because we're all going to go through it. Right. It's going to happen. It's going to be somebody's going to say something or do something that's going to have an impact on you emotionally. We're not going to eliminate or avoid anything bad happening, everything bad happening from us. So we have to have a game plan for how do we get out of that quickly. The whole idea of Netflix binging and, eating a tub of ice cream, we can't, our metabolism can't handle that anymore. We got to have a better plan than that.
So true. So true. Flip the script, folks, and put yourself in a position where the 6 inches between your ears is working for you and not against you. Put some joy back into your life. Find the reason to say yes to something positive instead of saying, trying to be on the defensive and saying no to something negative, especially if that's the negative pool that you crawled into.
I am super excited. I read her book. It's called Laugh It Up by Candace Payne, Chewbacca Mom. And I laughed out loud a couple of times reading it. And I'm on the couch and my family's like, okay, what is it? But okay, so you all know she bought the mask on clearance. Yeah. It was on clearance. Right. Like that's the whole thing that started this. Here's what she says about clearance price stickers. Okay. I love her. She says, it was on clearance and this mom is a sucker for a sale. She says, I have a core belief that if it has a clearance sticker on it, you don't need to pray about it. That's God's approval stamp.
Oh, that's God's approval stamp. Clearance stickers. Right. I can see how that works. Okay. Right.
Yeah. And second, it was Chewbacca, for goodness sake. So I told that to my husband. See, it's God's approval stamp. It's got a clearance sticker on it. How'd that go? He just shook his head. Yeah. No, he does not think that Angel buying anything is necessary. If I never bought anything ever again, it would be too soon.
I'm sure that's not true.
But he's like, stay out of the stores, woman.
My friends, we will return right after these messages. And do tune in to 94.7 FM, The Word, on Facebook or on the radio when we have Candace Payne at 4:30 p.m. Mountain Time today.
You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show, America's home for positive business talk.